Hello. It's good to see you. Today we are going to be making a gingerbread train from this kit. This is from Benton's, which is an Aldi brand. And look how festive it is. Now I'll go ahead and tell you, the train that we will end up with will not look as pretty as this one. Because I am famously awful with these kits. But I have a lot of fun doing them. Some years we do a gingerbread house, some years we do a train, sometimes we do a whole little village. This year we're doing a train, and it looks like it comes with a Santa. That's new. I don't think it had that last time we did it. Now on the back of this cute little set, you will see all the steps that you will follow to make this little gingerbread train. And it's very easy. It comes with a little packet of this royal icing that you will cut open, and it has a little dispenser, a little piece there. You would take the pieces of gingerbread and break them apart. They usually come in a little shrink wrapped little set. There's a tray inside made of plastic that you will use to position your pieces on here, and it has little ridges in it to place the pieces of gingerbread. You will use the royal icing to hold the pieces together, and then you can decorate it. And usually it comes with fun little candies and little gumdrops and candies that you can decorate it with. So let's go ahead and open it up and get started. I have everything out. With these kits, typically you just get one packet of royal icing. It says it's great for kit building and cookie decorating. Now you want to make sure that you massage the icing to kind of loosen it up. It's actually not too bad. You see that it has this little piece on the end, and it twists off like the cap on a tube of toothpaste. Usually you can just sort of twist it and pull it off like that. Now the end is completely sealed up here, so you want to just take a pair of scissors to cut that off. And we have two options here for our little tips for the bag. We have a little fancy tip here that makes the icing come out all fancy looking, and then we just have the little tube, which basically I don't really bother using, because really when you cut this off, it's going to give you the icing's going to come out the same way. So for the first step of this, I typically don't bother putting anything on there. Sometimes they don't stay on very well anyway. But yeah, usually for the assembly of the kit, I just cut that off. And you want to cut it down as low as possible to start with, just to see, you know, how thick it's going to come out. You can always cut a little more if needed, but if you cut it back too far, you can't really undo that. So just start closer up to the top up here and cut it. And if it's coming out too small, you can cut it back just a little bit more. So that is our icing. I've been kneading on it a little bit as we talk. It actually feels fine. I don't think it really needs much more. Sometimes you get it and it's just kind of stiff and you really have to massage it. Here we have our little gingerbread Santa. Isn't he cute? He's in here, and you see it's got shrink wrap on it. So I have my handy little scissors to release him. See, I can release him from the plastic. He's already smiling, look. He's very cute. Okay, I'm going to sit him down. We have here our Create a Treat Easy Build tray. And you see we have these little recessed areas here. This is the one for the Santa. You put the Santa in this one. So what you do, you'll put just a little bit of icing down in there, just a little bead of icing. And you use that, that's going to kind of hold him up, although sometimes they get floppy. But it's not really going to matter because you're going to have the train car right here. And if he needs to lean back a little bit, it's okay. He can just lean back on the train car right here. And again, you have the little areas here for your icing. This section is the train car, and this section here is the train itself. And then usually you'll have this little hole back here. I usually just fill it with candy. All right, speaking of candy, with this set we get some pretty pinkish red sugar. It's just colorful, sparkly sugar. These are pretty little decorations. Look, we have green and blue and brown and red and white candies. We have snowflakes, holly leaves. There are some candy canes in there, and they're all sorts of colors. So we have that. We even have a little packet of little hard candies. These are holly leaves and holly berries. Not Halle Berry, holly berries. We have 2 packets of peppermint stars here, and these are great for the wheels on your train. And this is the second packet here. It looks like they've just separated them out. So you have the 4 for the train, or if you want to put them on the train, the little train wheels, and then you're going to have a big wheel for the train as well. That's right here, or somewhere in there. And you also have the other packet for the train car. In addition, we have a little packet of gumdrops. Aren't they pretty? Lots of red ones. That makes me very happy. The red ones are my favorite. We have some yellow ones, orange, and a couple of green ones as well. But the red ones are my favorite. I love them. They're so good. So it makes me happy to see that we have so many. I'm going to be placing these items in these little tiny glass containers here. I have 5 of these because I need 1 for the sugar, 1 for the multicolored candies, 1 for the holly leaves and berries, 1 for the peppermint discs, and 1 for our cute little gumdrops here. So I'm going to go ahead and place them in these containers here, my little glass containers. And then we will come back and get everything ready to start. Great. My hands are clean. We have our little gumdrops in this one. Our sugar in that one. We only have that reddish sugar. We don't have any green or anything. And looking at the picture, I don't even see where they use this, but we'll figure something out. Our cute little candies here are holly leaves and berries. They gave us a total of 10 peppermints, which is good because sometimes when you get these kits, 1 or 2 of the peppermints will be broken. So we have enough for all the wheels and 2 to spare. And our pretty colorful little pieces here, aren't they nice? We don't need any of those yet. Here we have basically just this big packet of all of the pieces that make up the gingerbread train. These are going to be the sides of the train. There's like the little cow catcher that goes on the front. Looks like a mustache. And we have some wheels here and some pieces here. And see, they're stacked. You have 2 layers here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this open and release the pieces. Okay, I have removed the shrink wrap, so now you can see the pieces a little bit better. And they're scored right here, and you have to be very careful breaking these. Sometimes they don't break the way you want them to. Typically, you could put it on a table. This isn't a good surface, but you could put it on a table and just do like a little, and usually I just hold it, like get a good grip on it like this and just pull it or just kind of break it like that. So that works fine. Here's another one. And we have two little wheels here. They look like boobies. We don't have to break those. And here's some more. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 separate pieces all together here. And the little train catcher, you have to be careful. I'm sorry, the cow catcher, not the train catcher. You don't want to catch a train with that. There. Wow. Okay. See, I could give Santa a giant mustache. We get silly with these kids sometimes. Now this piece has 5 total pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go ahead and break these. And if you do have one that breaks wrong, and I've had that happen, you can just use a little bit of icing to kind of glue it back together. It's all going to get eaten anyway, so it doesn't matter. Trust me, we all love these here. This will all get eaten, every bit of it. And the more icing, the better. I'm really glad they give you a lot. There's actually a lot in there. Okay, there we go. Now you can start this any way you prefer. It really doesn't matter. You can start with, you know, the train, the engine. You could start with the car. You could put Santa in there. You could do it any way you want to. All right, now it's time to open up the icing. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off the top. And that's a very tiny opening. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to cut it again. What I do, typically, I go ahead and line these with my icing. I just go ahead and do all of them at once. Oh, here's another problem you run into. The bag actually has a hole in it right here, and you can see the icing is coming out. I have a fix for this, but it's not ideal, but it does work. You remove the icing and kind of dry the area, and then you cover it with duct tape, because duct tape fixes everything. Let me fix that, and then we will proceed. All right, there we go. I found some beige. I had a whole roll of beige duct tape. I have no idea why, but it's really pretty. I was looking for some nice silver duct tape to make it festive and Christmassy, but I couldn't find any, so that was the best I could do. All right, and also I cut a little bit more off the end of this. I kind of felt like it wasn't enough. So just like a tube of toothpaste, I'm going to make sure to squeeze from the bottom and get a bunch of it down here. And again, I'm not a professional, so you know, don't worry about it. So we're squeezing some of this icing along here. I still don't think that's quite enough. I'm going to cut a little bit more off. All right, and then we're just going to continue. That's better. It's kind of hard to squeeze. You have to be sort of patient with it. Okay. It looks like I have a little bit of a hernia right there. It's herniated right there. It's trying to come out, but the duct tape is holding it in so far. Okay. And also, we're going to have some pieces that go across this way, so I'm going to put some icing there as well. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because this is not going to show. When the train is finished, you're not going to be able to see this part. So, you know, put it in there any way you want to. We'll put some here for Santa. Hold him in there, like that. And then we'll go around for the train car. if you like to go really heavy on the icing, I would recommend purchasing extra icing to go with your kit. Usually though, you're going to get a tube about this size, and there's quite a bit in here. Well, it's quite herniated right there, my goodness. Okay, so now I believe these are the sides of the train. This is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. Okay, I want to just make sure I have the right pieces in the right place. Or no, actually, these are the sides, I believe these are the sides of the train car. So you take them and you just push them down in there. And they'll stay for a minute, but sometimes they fall. And I think these are, no. I think that is part of the main train. These little pieces here. What I like to do to make it a little extra sturdy, I'll take one piece and add icing along the sides, like that. So you have it on both sides. Or you can do it on these, it doesn't matter. And then you're just going to take it, and I'm using the icing to kind of stick them together. Or maybe they, oh, you know what? They go that way. That's okay. That's okay. There's no wrong way to do these. You do them however you want. Let's see. No, I just did it wrong again. The more icing, the better. That's how I feel. It's going to fit in there just like that. And you take your other piece here, and you're going to stick it on the back. These pieces are a little bit warped. Well, they're in the right house then. Okay. So this one is going to go this way. If you turn it this way, it's a little bit too wide to fit in the little groove there. So you want to turn it this way, which means the icing is going to go here and here. Oh, our icing is coming out. My duct tape is not holding it in, but it tried. Give me that. Oh, you ornery icing. There we go. Just like that. Now, turn it this way. And you're going to wedge it in there. Oh, that's tight. These pieces they're a little bit warped. Now, when this icing dries, it is kind of like a glue, and it will help hold all this together. In the meantime, you just have to keep an eye on it and make sure it's staying together. Okay. We have 5 of these pieces. 4 of them are going to go in the front. Oh, we also have a groove for the cow catcher that we need to put icing in. One goes there. And remember, we already put icing down in there to hold these up. 3, 4, and then one of these is going to go in the back like that. Let's add a little bit. We can actually put a little bit of icing in between these pieces. We'll add a little bit here to add a decoration. I find it's easier to add the icing to these before you stick them down there. This little spot is to just help hold them together. And then you can just kind of squish them all together like a happy little train sandwich. Okay. These pieces go here. That's the top. I'm going to get some of my herniated icing. Just wipe it off. Yeah, I don't care how good you are at this. You will get icing all over yourself. It's inevitable. Okay. this piece like that. Stick it back there. And then we have the other side here. Oops. Okay. There. And you just kind of mush everything together like that. And this is the top. Now for this one, I'm going to put icing underneath, or you can just put it across the tops here. This might actually be better. Like that. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put some icing across the top. I always love to decorate the top of the train. And I'm just going to mush icing around on it. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to place this here. Make sure that they're as straight as they can be. And we place it on top like that. Okay. Now we do have these wheels go on the side. It's our boobies again. They're kind of concave though, so I find that you have to add a little bit extra icing to these because they're not flat on the bottom. Unlike me. Okay, so just fill it in. I will use this entire bag of icing somewhere on this thing. Okay, we'll smush a little bit onto the wheel so we can add a decoration to it of some sort. Well, we're going to be sticking peppermints to it if nothing else. I don't think I have enough. I'll put some on the bottom. That'll help it stay a little bit better. Okay. There. Now again, until this icing dries, it's going to be easy for it to fall over. So you want to just check your pieces from time to time and make sure they haven't fallen. Again, I'm going to take my herniated icing here. It doesn't want to go. It's very ornery. This is the bottom of the cow catcher. Let's stick that down in there. So it's like the front of the train right there. Okay, and Santa already has his icing in there, so we can whoops, he doesn't like that at all. Santa, I'll give you some icing. Okay. Okay, we have assembled the basic idea of the Christmas train. I'm going to add a little bit of icing to the front of the train. Keep trying to call it a train catcher. The cow catcher. We could put some across here. Some on the wheels. I forgot to do that on that one. Okay. Santa is just determined to lean up against that train car. There. And as you work with the icing, it becomes more and more pliable. I'm going to put some around the whole thing. And come around this way. I have a dollop of herniated icing. It's going to go somewhere whether it likes it or not. Come around this way. You have to keep working it down. Santa is intently watching what I'm doing. He was like, "What are you doing?" He's supervising. Another dollop. And you can put just little blobs of it here and there. And we're going to make this so incredibly colorful with our stuff. I'm just placing little dollops of icing everywhere, because you got to have something to stick your candy to. Oh, it's coming out this side too. And now we start with the decorations. I think I'll start with the gumdrops. Okay. And you can stick them anywhere. I'm not going to say it. I'm doing red ones up there. Stick an orange one there. And you can go around it too, look, because we put that bead of icing all the way around. You can put them on in a pattern, or you can put them on randomly. It doesn't matter. That's one thing I love about these kits. There is no right or wrong way to do it. And if anybody tells you that there is, they are incorrect. You don't have to do it perfectly. You really don't. These are some nice soft gumdrops too. Sometimes they're really hard. These aren't. Okay. Now we don't want to forget our wheels. I'm going to put just a little blop of icing on the wheel. Well, it's not really a wheel, but now these sometimes will slide off and you have to push them back up. Just the weight of the peppermint star will make it slide down. Or the whole dang wheel could go over. That could happen too. Okay. Oh, Santa, you're in the way. Santa, move your booty. I can't reach this to put a wheel on it. There. Put it back. Another dollop. I'm just sticking these on the back of the train car. Oh, I had 4 left over. Okay. And these you can just stick down into the icing if you want. I may not even use them all. And then we have our pretty little holly leaves. You can just stick them anywhere. And don't forget the little berries too. I really like doing the bead of icing all the way around, because you can just stick all kinds of stuff to it. Anything you want to. There is no limit at all to what you can do. Put a little berry there. I like the fact that these berries are not bright red. I notice on the holly trees around here that the berries are not really red. They're kind of an orangish red. Reddish orange. We want to save room for our other candy too. Okay. We can sprinkle a little bit of this colorful sugar, and it's going to kind of stick to the icing. Makes it pretty. I'm not going to use a whole lot of that though. And these are just like little decorative scatter. You can just sort of, you can stick them down in the icing if you want to. Like I can take some little bitty ones. If I put a little bit more icing around the top of the train car, I could stick a bunch of them over the top. We need to decorate Santa. So then you can take your little snowflakes and your leaves and your candy canes and just go all the way around the top of the train car. Oh, there are little gingerbread men in here too. I didn't see those. So we're just going around the top of the train car. Okay. And we can add some more of these up here. Some of these pretty leaves and berries. Look. It's really cute. Okay. A little more scatter. I want to stick some of these on the front of the cow catcher here. We'll have some pretty colorful stuff. Ooh, there are little red dots in here. Little candy dots and little Christmas trees. Oh, so many shapes. And if you drop some down on the tray, it doesn't matter at all because I promise you somebody in this house will eat it. Probably me. Get back up there. Okay, Santa. I keep wanting to call him a Christmas tree. I keep looking at him. We're going to give him all kinds of decorations. Sticking them right in there. He's getting snowflakes, candy canes. Oops. Look at him. He's ready for Christmas. I'm ready for Christmas too. I'm ready for it to get here. I'm excited. I'm all ready. So yeah, there we have it. And you know, even more, we can put some herniated icing on there. Let's dollop that on there. And there's that little hole back there too. I'm going to put some scatter in there. I'll fill up that with the stuff. See, look how colorful it is. So pretty. Oh, I like it. And then, of course, you have the train car back here. You could fill it with stuff. You could put some little treats in here. Maybe some mini candy canes or cookies or just whatever you want to. I think one year one of my kids put like a little they put like some little G.I. Joe men in there when they were small. My older son used to play with, he briefly played with G.I. Joe stuff, but then he moved on from it. But I think one year G.I. Joe ended up in here with some of his friends. You just never know. We got the train going by outside right now. That could be our Christmas train. I just keep seeing areas that need decorative touches. Yes, so there we have it. There we have our decorated Christmas train. Look at this. Here we have our little cow catcher, and here's the engine with the wheels. And we have Santa back here next to the train car. It's all decorated and ready to go. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed getting to see my little Christmas train and decorating it and everything. And I hope that you have a wonderful day and a very Merry Christmas. And I will see you again really soon.